Hey viewers, welcome to another game of Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing a game between, and I'm supposed to say Slivko here, but it is a very long name, as the Zerg in the top left and PoYo as the Terran in the bottom right. So Terran versus Zerg. Interesting matchup, because there are several possibilities. Obviously, we normally see a lot of Zerglings from this side and then Marines from this side, which transfers into, well, either Banelings, which then triggers the building of Marauders, which then triggers the building of, come on, what are you called? Roaches. And that is normally just about where we stay. But there are several other possibilities, such as Mutalisk as a reaction to the Roaches. Also, the Terran player can of course go for a mech option, which is factory units instead of barracks units, but we will all have to see it. So for now it is just building of, well, overlords, supply depots and workers, and that is not very interesting to watch, but it is a crucial part of the game. Also, the scouting is going to happen right now, and as we will see, these overlords are going to do just fine in finding the enemy base, because obviously they know that it's on the opposite side. Both players expanding early on. They're not really concerned with anything else than just the expansion, because this is a huge map, which means that there's really nothing that, well, that's going to go wrong for them if they expand first. And then of course the spawning pool comes up, just to make sure that he can produce Zerglings in case there is a rush coming in. Otherwise, he could just, so if he really didn't care, he still needed it, because you can build queens with it. So yeah, you need a spawning pool to build queens. And well, you need queens to win, so kind of did. Yeah, it's a very easy strategy, therefore you need to go for that spawning pool early on. It's kind of a shame, because yeah, it would be great if you would be able to get a full economy build going for these kind of huge maps. But obviously you cannot. Only one worker on the gas. I'm not sure if that's a mistake or that is actually a choice, because it can actually be a choice, because well, outside of the speed upgrade here, well, we don't really need a whole lot. So the speed upgrade is there. This one is not going to be upgraded anytime soon, because it's for the hive. So if he wants to go into Baneling Nest, then he can wait with that, because Baneling Nest is not really too useful early on. It is useful once we get to a point where there are several Marines out. And for now, as you can see, only 2 Marines out. One in the bunker, one attacking the rocks. And we are going to go into factory units here. Going to go for those Hellions. And Hellions are of course a great option. Might actually switch into Widow Mines at some point, or just produce some of them. But for now we are going Hellions. Hellions are great against Zerglings. They're also great against drones, which is kind of the risk that the Zerg player has. And immediately going for that Roach Warren. So I guess he didn't really scout, because there's no way to really scout this once the Marines are out. No, there is no scout in the base here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, because this color, I know there's an overlord here somewhere. There it is. This color on the minimap is kind of hard to distinguish from the rest. I can actually, oh, it gives me the same colors. It is so lame. Yeah, nothing I can do that. Can I change it here maybe? No. This is just for whatever. Anyway, yeah, that's unfortunate that he actually picked light blue, because light blue is very hard to see, well, on the map. So if there's an overlord hovering over here, I couldn't see it, because it would just blend in with the rest. And that is just no good. And SCV not doing anything here, that is not good. That actually is going to cost him quite a few minerals. And we do have a few of the Hellions just gathering up. The defense should be ready. I mean, he does see that. Yeah, well, we do have some Roaches out. The Roaches are going to do fine against these Hellions, because Hellions are terrible versus Roaches. And I will show you why. Only 8 damage versus Roaches. and since roaches have a standard +1 armor, they only take, well, 7 damage then per shot, and that is of course not good enough, especially since they do a ton of damage themselves, and they have a pretty high fire rate as well. So yeah, just running around with his roaches currently, trying to get a good position on. And of course queens are also decent against Hellions. Yeah, we do have 5 roaches out here against the 6 Hellions, and that should do just fine. I mean, roaches do 16 damage, which is a whole lot more than the 7 on these guys. And these guys do not have armor, so they take the full damage. So anyhow, currently we're building, well, we did build a second orbital command, or third, I guess, orbital command. Although we technically didn't build the first one. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, the rock tower has been collapsed, so destructible rocks now in front of the base, and the Zerg player is just saying, well, if you're not coming for me, then I am just going to go for a very economical build. And he is just going for, as you can see, just an extra expansion here. So 4 bases out, 3 bases already mining, the 4th one is coming up, and the Terran has 3 bases out and is currently building his 4th. So currently 4 versus 4, that is in the advantage of the Terran player, because the Zerg units are more fragile. They're cheaper most of the time, but they are more fragile, which normally means that they will get taken out pretty easily. But yeah, if you get something done with it, it's normally not a problem. And therefore, as a Zerg player, you have to expand once more than your opponent is. And currently the Terran player is just saying, well, I can keep up with 4 bases, that's no problem. And so the Zerg player will have to either expand again or have to destroy a base, both of which is very hard to do. And as you can see, the Terran has a pretty big army. He does have a nice wall off here, and the wall off is just made from the supply depot, so they can get taken down pretty easily by some banelings. The banelings are, however, not the only thing here, so yeah, he might just take down the entire wall here with roaches and banelings, and yeah, that is indeed going to happen. He's going to rush in, and is this going to be just it? Because the Terran player built all these bases, but they're not really economically viable yet, because, well, you have to mine quite a bit before you pay for the expansion plus all the SCVs that are in there, and then you have to build a new army with the money you then make, and yeah, that can take quite a while. As you can see, the roaches did pretty well there, stopping this base from mining and stopping this base from mining. And now we have Zerglings as well. Zerglings are of course cheap, but they do die pretty quickly. And we are now going to get a ton of banelings. 23 banelings coming out. If these banelings break this front, it is pretty much over. But this front is pretty hard to break, except for this supply depot. But even then, trying to get that to that supply depot will cost him quite a few units. And yeah, there you see it. He is going to try it. He's going to try to go for these barracks. And wow, just rushing in. And yeah, as I said, if he breaks it, it is going to be GG. And he did break it, not by getting one of the buildings, surprisingly, but going for the units and just making that work. So yeah, kind of an overextending or expanding Terran player, and the Zerg player came out ahead because of that. So very well played. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.